guys are going to be teaching you. These guys have been around the block a lot. You know, I mean, I don't know how long you and I have known each other, but let's not even go there. You know, the sad thing is he's kept his youthful looks. You know, you are going to get a lot of people's experience today. Okay? What we have to remember as instructors, and I know there are instructors among you, by the way, it's not just people who are currently training, but you know, what we have to remember is you guys are the future. You know, we might be teaching now, and I know there's some instructors in here, we're running our classes now. You know, we're sharing our experience now. But what as instructors, what we share today is what you take on tomorrow. And you are the future. You guys are the next generation. You're the ones that's going to pass it on. You're the ones that's going to propagate it. And the nice thing is, because you made the effort to come here, you're not doing it by Sifu YouTube and Sifu Google, as Gary calls it. You are doing it by actually getting in there and learning and sharing. So today, enjoy, have fun. Stuff that you like, take on board. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. We're not the Oracle. We're not here to say this is how you do. We're here to say this is how we do it. If you like it, you take it on board. You know, and I am known. Trust me, my middle name is plagiarism. When I went to Sifu School and I was invited down there, I came away with a lot more than I gave. Because I'm looking at what he does, how he does that, how does he teach that, and I thought that's really nice. And trust me, I apologise, Sifu Gary up there, but when I went back to my school, I was teaching it. My idea. Look what I know. I nicked it. Yeah, I'm hands up. I will steal anything that will make me better at doing what I want to do, and that will make my students better at what they do. So if you find stuff today that you think works, no matter who it's from, what style, teacher, background, take it, use it, enjoy it, and have fun. And then the other thing that I'm just going to say before I get started and actually pretend I know what I'm doing, is that I was watching some of you doing Shinshan. Some of you can be a little bit overly heavy-handed, some of you can be a bit over-aggressive. And it reminds me of one of my Kung Fu brothers went to Hong Kong, and he was playing Shinshan, and I was watching him play Shinshan, and he was very good, he was very powerful, he was very fast, he was pushing the other people around, he was getting through, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's really good, you know, how did you go? That's brilliant. Oh, it's fantastic. I had a great time. I said, what did you learn? He went, I said, what did you get from it? He said, well, I was getting through the left, right, and centre. I said, yeah, but why did you get through? Because good, brilliant. Why did you get through? And he didn't know what he'd done to get through. The problem is because he didn't know what he'd done, he couldn't replicate it. The person on the other end that got 3 digs here and a few digs there and a few digs there when I had a chat with them, why did they get through? Oh, well, he was pushing like this and I should have turned. And they learned something. Because they knew what they'd done wrong, they could do something about it through a bit of training and replicate the mistake, and then eradicate the mistake and put techniques in place that didn't do it again. And to be fair, the person that was on the wrong end of it learned so much more than the person getting through. Sometimes it's better to link up hands and see what someone else has got to offer than it is for you to go, look, this is what I can do. You know? And as an instructor, I try and remember that I'm teaching. Because if I go around and go, look, this is what I can do, people go, well, that's why I'm here. I came here to find that, you don't prove it. Whereas sometimes it's better for everybody just to go, you know what, let's see what someone else has got. Because what they've got to offer is stuff I haven't got, and that just builds my repertoire. And for me, that's learning, and I haven't stopped learning, and I know all of you haven't stopped learning, otherwise you wouldn't pay any good money to be here. So, soak it up. Love it. Have a great time, you know. And don't look at the badge, and don't look at the skin, and don't look at the hairstyle, and don't judge people by their clothing or anything else. Feel their hands, you know, because that's what Wing Chun is. Wing Chun is a big family. It's going like that, and it's getting diverse. But you know what? It's still a family, and it doesn't know about race or religion or food types or musical tastes or clothing or job styles and hair colour. Doesn't give a rat's ass, to be fair. It's just family, and that's the beauty of it. So soak it up, have a good time. Let's have a little play. What I'm going to try and do today is to teach you how a short, fat little 53-year-old that doesn't teach full-time for a living can do a little bit of structure and shape. To me, Wing Chun is about a multifaceted system of tools, but it comes down to certain simple tools. It's about how you use your muscles and how you use your skeleton. Okay? And a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on how strong you are, or how powerful you are, or how much your energy is, or how big your muscles are. And I don't mean in Wing Chun, I mean just in generic terms. The problem is, muscles are limited by their attachment and by the support mechanisms. So, if you are using your muscles to make you powerful, you'll make your structure strong, you're actually possibly doing yourself an injustice. The bones themselves are where the power is. The muscles are. If I got, what about you? You look expendable. I mean, you look like just roll your arm. Okay, everybody everybody knows, and I'm teaching to suck eggs, I'm teaching things a million times, so forgive me for this, I'm going to state the obvious because it makes it look like I know what I'm talking about. Muscles work as what they call antagonists. You've got one muscle on one side of the joint, one on the other, and one pulls and the other relaxes. Muscles can only pull, they can only shorten, they can't push. So you have to have one on each side, or in groups on each side. So you've got triceps on here, you've got biceps on here. If the biceps contract, it pulls on the elbow joint, it wraps itself around, and as it goes like that, this muscle gets shorter, therefore this one has to relax to allow the joint to flex. Okay, or to contract here. If the triceps get shorter and the biceps relax, your arm will extend. Okay? So what do you think the biceps do? I hope you hold my hand because I've asked you to. Just checking. What do the biceps do? It's not a trick question, by the way.
Brings the forearm closer to the upper arm.
They're short, okay? I still think people practicing Wing Chun with tense biceps, putting tension in their biceps, okay? They do Tan Sao with the tense, they do Bong Sao with the tense. The problem with tensing the bicep is it's trying to do this. Now, if you're going to hug them to death, brilliant. Okay? But I'm assuming you don't want to hug them. If you want to keep them out defensively or offensively, it's going to be a contraction of the triceps. You need to switch your biceps off. Punching or doing Tan Sao or any action, Jong Sao, even the Bong Sao, which still uses the contraction here, any technique that goes that way is relying on, not in solo exercise, but in group, muscle grouping, working group. But the triceps predominantly are the reason why your arm does this, whether it's going forward defensively or offensively. Punching, let's for example, with a tense bicep, it's like driving a car with handbrake on. You are slowing it down because it's pulling in the wrong direction. So what we want to look at is how we can switch the biceps off where it's appropriate, use the triceps more appropriately, and also where our power base is. The problem with muscles is, if I got a knife and I cut your muscle off and threw it on the floor, it's got the strength of a chicken fillet. If it's not attached to anything, it's got no power whatsoever. The power is not in the muscle, the power is in the bone. Because bone is weak. If I hacked your arm off, you will be happy. But if I hacked your arm off and stripped the flesh off, apart from the mess, obviously, they've got a solid bone like that, it's still strong. Whether it's attached or not, whether it's, it's still powerful. The bone is powerful. The muscles, all the muscles need to do is be positioned and structured such that the bone's in the right angle. So, thank you. When, for example, I'm going to use my if that's okay. For example, in Tan Sao here, when I'm applying the force in this direction, okay, regardless of the fact it's going to turn and move and yada yada yada, we'll put all that as an assumed. Just the actual structure itself, he doesn't need to use the biceps here. What he does need to do is stop the triceps elongating. If the triceps elongate, this angle decreases this way, or because of the attachment, it decreases this way. If you can fix that position there, that distance, that angle here and here, then any force applied in this direction will therefore be transmitted down the bones. And then physically it'll go down. The resultant force of power applied there is going to be pressing down into the hips. And if it's pressing down into the hips, it can be directed into the floor. So basically, if he doesn't allow that angle to collapse and that angle to collapse, and he's trained his legs, then when I'm pushing his hand, I might as well push the floor. Because my force is being redirected down, his structure is being redirected back up. The benefit of it, of course, is A, as I'm applying force in here, I'm in effect adding to his body mass by pressing forward, because he's sinking his force down to the heels onto the ground, so I'm making him heavier. And because he's pushing back as a result of force that way, it's actually uplifting me and making me lighter. Well, as force equals mass times acceleration, the greater amount of mass you can use, the more power you're going to have. Me adding to his force, his mass, isn't going to do me any favours. So what I'm going to look at is have a little play as to how do we get that to relax, because that's difficult. Okay? And I suppose I need to redefine the word relaxed. Because I remember once, as an instructor, you sort of you try and help people, and you go, your arms should be completely relaxed. And he went, so definitions are wonderful things. Okay? So when I say completely relaxed, I don't mean absolutely relaxed, as in a dead arm. Okay? What I mean is that if you hold your arm out like that without putting any conscious tension into it, and you're just fighting gravity, that's usually enough. Because when a punch comes in here, all you really want is that to be in place. I just need that to be there. Okay? Best block in the world is what?
To move.
Get out of the way. So that's what I block. Thing comes in towards me, don't be there. Be somewhere else. I'm thinking Barbados. But get out of the way. As soon as you're out of the way from there, then you can then come back and play. Having got out of the way, this just needs to make sure that he doesn't change his mind. He doesn't then come back in. It's less likely that hand is going to come this way. But it is quite likely he's missed on the first and think, he's not going to stand there with a mad view, is it? That's not going to be a split second of, oh, it's a punch, oh, I better throw another one. It's already on its way. I can't see that next thing. I don't know whether he's going to headbutt, hook, jab, cross, back. I don't know if he's going to lean back in. I've no idea what he's going to do. So I need this to maintain contact wherever possible. Okay? If he disengages, what am I going to do?
Straight.
Sorry?
Straight.
I'm going to hit him. If he drops his hand, what am I going to do?
Straight.
If he pushes towards me, what am I going to do? I'm going to hit him. So you hit him if he stands still, or you hit him if he moves. I like that. I'm alright with that. Right, if they've started the initial thing. But what I don't want to be doing is if he's pushing towards me, or not necessarily physically, people are going to push that down, punching that down and then push here. But he could be leaning and he could be throwing his punch. I still need to have structure. And what I don't want is me to lock out. If I lock out here with muscle groups and he pushes, then he's suddenly disengaged to do something else. My hand's like, oh. I'm frozen. What I want to be doing is switching off the biceps. So it's just pushing forward at the tricep. When he then disengages from here, I can just go forward. And we've all heard of the saying, let's actually Chun. Hand lost thrust forward. The Wing Chun adage, just as a reminder, if the hand comes towards you, detain it. If the hand goes back, chase it to the source. If the hand disengages, spring forward. You can't spring forward if your muscle groups are locked. So you have to learn to relax muscle groups that you don't need and utilise muscle groups that you do. And that's really what I'm going to get into a little play with. So I'm going to do it as a game, because I always find role-playing games are much more fun than punching each other's snot out of each other. So what I'm going to get you to do, and who's the volunteer? You're a volunteer. Excellent, well volunteered. Didn't even say what was handed, did you? Brilliant. Okay, just put forward a technique for me. I'm actually going to choose a hand a bit more like Fuxao than Tansao. And the reason why I'm going to use Fuxao shape rather than Tansao shape is, in order for you to rotate the Tansao into place, it actually puts a twist and therefore a relative tension on the bicep. So I wanted to just eradicate that straight away. Okay. So what we're going to do, you do it to me first, grab my wrist, put your hand on my bicep, you're a big strong lad, get a good hold of the bicep and tricep. Okay. I'm going to try and use strength to stop him. Okay? You can lean in, all you're going to do is bend my arm like that. When you hear the sound like you're pulling part of Kentucky Fried Chicken, feel free to stop. Right? And screaming. Screaming will only be for theatrical effect. Bend it. Pull down, bend your ball. Come on, son. Come on, you're going for 3 weeks. Put your shoulder into it. Lean your body into it. Come on. And the problem with strength versus strength is eventually one of us is going to tire. If the attacker tires, they run away and have another go. If you tire, you're screwed. Okay? So strength versus strength. The problem with strength versus strength is the stronger will win. And if you're stronger, brilliant. Bad time to find out you're not. So, what I'm going to get you to do is, go again. I'll turn around this way so you can see how good my biceps are. Here it goes. I apologise, I will have my back to somebody, so please feel free to, unless you would like my ass, I'm hoping everybody's moving right this moment in time. Did you spot the difference? I don't know. Inside, it could be any good. Right, so, you can see my biceps. I know you're going to be jealous of this. Stand my arm. Seriously. No, really. Okay? You can take my course as well. You can see what's happening to my biceps. I'm just turning them off. I'm bending. They're really bending. Fantastic. And so, all I'm doing effectively is I'm sending a message from my brain, which unfortunately is down there. I'm sending a message from my brain to my triceps. Bend it. You can keep going while I'm talking. And I'm saying to my triceps, look, don't try and contract and push back, because you could be bigger and stronger, more powerful, and you're going to lose. Don't relax, and when you relax it goes like that. It's really nice. Stay the same length. Fix their length. Keep going. Fix their length. Okay? And by fixing the length and sending a message, keep going. By fixing the length and just keeping them the same, then this angle doesn't decrease and this angle doesn't decrease. Keep going. I'm not using the biceps, I am using the triceps. Can I have some blood back? Hopefully now I have proven that any idiot can do it. So I want you to do it. What I want you to do is to feel the fact that you don't need to be tense. If you are tense, you are resisting your potential. You're slowing yourself down. You're not springing forward. You're going to have a locked joint. And a locked joint is just as strong as the support mechanism behind it. Okay? I want you to be able to redirect force. I want you to be able to switch off. And then we're going to have a little play on Relaxation, and a little exercise, a little game you can play to try and work it out. So what I want you to do is this. Yeah, now you. Okay, well, we've got two of you, I don't mind. Fantastic, right. Same thing goes. Right. Mark, you come here, please. Grab his wrist and his bicep. Okay? All you're going to do, and you're going to do this with partner, and I'm going to make it a little game. I just want you to tap your elbow with your other hand. Okay? And close your eyes just so you can completely feel nothing but that tapping on the elbow. Okay? Don't let it forcing you out to do it. And you, in your mind, imagine it's like a solid metal bar. Let's just turn his hand over so there's no bicep going on. Imagine it's like a solid metal bar. Okay? All I want you to do is slowly increase. Do not push back. Just maintain that shape. You start pushing in. And just keep it there. Close your eyes. Solid metal bar. Pushing it in. Don't let it collapse. Don't let it collapse. Feel it. Don't worry if it eventually gives. Okay? And it sounds like a Kentucky wing being ripped off, because I'm sure there's some first aid in it. Keep pushing. Okay? But it's not actually collapsing, is it? Okay, relax. And also, all I want you to do is appreciate that no matter what level you're at, no matter how long or how briefly you've trained, it's already there. And to me, Wing Chun is about not going, oh, you train for X amount of years, you're going to learn to do that. You can already do what we do. It's just you may not have drawn out the potential. You know, this is not a new skill, it's a natural skill. It's a natural skill, it's not size or age or anything dependent. It's there for all of us. Let's just tune into it. Because once you can stop that collapsing, right, go on, Mark. You push. Once you can control your triceps, push. Then I can control bomb sound because it's purely about my triceps. I don't need my biceps, keep pushing. I can therefore turn on foot sow or jump sow or tarn sow, and you keep pushing. I can turn jump sow to this side, and I just control the elbow. I can use moose sow to pack sow. I can control the elbow. I can do any technique I want, because it's all about, as long as my triceps don't collapse, unless I choose them to do so, then I'm in control of it. The nice thing is here, because he's pushing and my hand is very relaxed, I've got more sensitivity because I'm not locked out in the muscle groups. I'm controlling the tricep then, so the bicep's completely switched off. And if he wants to disengage and re-engage, then all that will happen is my hand will spring forward. So if you think of your arm like a very thin bamboo cane, and you bend that bamboo cane and then you release it, it doesn't hold itself there and think, oh, I know. It will just spring forward back straight. And that's what you need for your technique. You can't afford, when they disengage, for you to be locked out, so you need to take the biceps off. So I want to have a little go at what this little exercise, where one person holds the wrist, holds the biceps, you're going to try and bend their arm. You are not going to try and rip their arm off, okay? So it's not an exercise in arm wrestling. I want to put on enough pressure that they can stay where they are without creating tension. If you push too hard, they'll panic, they'll put tension in, all you've done is screwed the exercise for your partner. And that's not nice. And remember, it's their turn next. Okay? What I do want you to do is just tap the elbow, because if you are conscious about the elbow, it's fixing the elbow angle that makes the thing work for you. I want you to have the hand turned over, and I want you to test, or want your partner to test, there's no bicep. If you feel your partner tensing up, tell them. Benefit from what you can feel. Is there any questions on that? It's a double.
Why didn't you lift your foot off the floor
when he was pushing? Good question. Okay, so you're grabbing. Do the same way. No, grab wrist up, bend my arm. There. Why did I lift my arm foot? Because one of the things I was going to go to, it's a good question, I didn't get around to it. People often sort of talk about where the power goes. I can lift my foot off the floor because the force is going down the back leg. I actually don't need my front leg at all. Okay? The only time I leave my front leg is when he stops pushing, it stops me falling flat on my face and looking an idiot. So I literally took it off the floor. In fact, I'm glad to pick it up because I was about to say that and I got distracted by you trying to rip me out. So, but when the force is coming in, we talk about the redirection of force. As he's pushing forward, no matter what shape he's doing, even if he's doing here, then I'm actually not leading my left leg, my lead leg to do a fat lot of work. The force is being redirected down the skeleton, down here. Most important is to make sure that you don't compromise your shapes. If you get bong sound compromised by it starting to collapse, then all of a sudden, I'm actually using the wrong type of muscle. I'm not allowing a nominal muscle structure and redirection down the bones anymore, because the pressure was being pushed so much that the wrist has collapsed and the elbow's out here. Now it's actually not coming down the bones anymore, it's coming down the muscle groups, and that's going to take a lot of hard work. Any other questions? Hell, if I can do it. I'm sure it's good. Get a partner. Come on, who is the partner? When I say partner, it's the person right next to you, whoever they are.